This holiday season, help Soldiers for Stockings improve the morale and welfare of members of our armed forces deployed overseas. Now through November 20th, there is so much work to be done, and you can help in many ways. Download the stocking pattern from stockingsforsoldiers.org and start sewing today. Volunteer to help decorate and assemble stockings. Donate Christmas candies, snacks, nuts, chips, drink mixes, DVDs, books, magazines, lip balm, toiletries, and other items needed to fill the stocking. Or help make packets of snowman soup, hot chocolate, to send along with the stockings. For more information, patterns, and a list of items needed, visit stockingsforsoldiers.org. This holiday season, help send our troops a touch of home. For many, it's all they will receive. All stockings need to be completed by November 20th. So get started today at stockingsforsoldiers.org. That's stockingsforsoldiers.org. Stockings for Soldiers, sending stockings filled with joy to our soldiers in harm's way for the 9th consecutive year.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom133.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom133.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom133.com. Go to freedom133.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom133.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Then get on board with the Tax Admiral and let us steer your way to financial freedom.
The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. They can freeze your bank accounts, seize your car, home, will garnish your paychecks and benefits.
Don't take on the IRS alone. I can fight for you using industry secrets that can help stop the IRS. I'll cut your penalties, slash your interest, and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company with over 30 years experience helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. And we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away.
Call 800-646-6985. Again, that's 800-646-6985. 800-646-6985. 800-646-6985.
The following letters were written by our troops.
My dear fellow Americans, I truly appreciate your support. I was starting to wonder if people had forgotten about us over here, but then one of my buddies showed me this website, and now as tears are streaming down my face, I can see for sure that you haven't. Private Emily B., U.S. Army.
It's so heartwarming to see the American people not letting the men and women of the armed forces be forgotten. Your letters make a group of grown men, battle-hardened and gruff, act like a bunch of kids around a Christmas tree. Thanks. Staff Sergeant Matthew H., U.S. Army.
Your support may be the most important thing our troops can carry with them. But don't take our word for it. Take theirs. To show your support, visit americasupportsyou.mil. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Defense and the Ad Council.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $14 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge. Home studio somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire, where the state motto is still live free or die. It is not big government or bust. It has not yet been changed. I checked again today, and it hasn't been changed. I know there are some on the left that want to seriously change the state motto. Yeah, a state representative, a Democratic state representative here in New Hampshire, has said and stated, and she is quoted as saying in the papers, newspapers around here, that she wants to change the state motto because she believes that live free or die sends the wrong message to the rest of the world. Now, she didn't say country, she said world. Now, I'm not exactly sure what type of negative message live free or die sends to the entire world. But here in the Granite State, we get the meaning of it. And, can you believe that it is living free is now considered to be, by the left, offensive? It sends the wrong message. I'm sorry, I can never be a modern day liberal. I cannot think in such an idiotic way. I mean, it's almost disingenuous calling them moronic, because that would be insulting morons. And morons, really, medically speaking, can't help the way they are. These people they claim to have a brain. Anyway, the number that you can call here to join me live this evening is 603-835-3224. Don't forget, if you're just tuning in, that the show will be switching to 9 a.m. to noon starting January the 6th. Will be a 3-hour morning show. We'll be able to get into a lot more stuff and a lot more detail than we can right now. on 2 hours in the evening. And besides, it'll be kind of nice to be able to be ahead of the big guys, like I used to be. I used to be ahead of the big guys. When they would talk about certain. Well, I still am to a certain degree, because now I bet you tomorrow you're going to hear some of the big guys talking about what I just talked about tonight. It happens a lot, actually. And the interesting thing it's about stuff that's happened either yesterday or during the day of the broadcast. So it's not as if they didn't know about it or couldn't have known about it. I am firmly convinced that some of these people, some of these big stars out there, if you will, in the talk circuit on both sides of the political aisle, they have producer. Well, everybody's a producer now. It's like an engineer. If you're working in TV or radio and you're a producer, I'm a producer. No, a producer. There's a specific title for a producer, but it's like an engineer now. A sanitation engineer. They're engineers. So now everybody's a producer. If a person's job is to fact check, well, he's still a producer. That's not a producer. Producer doesn't do that, but that's what they're calling him. So I'm convinced that they have all these minions of producers listening to all kinds of programs, including these, like mine. And getting. Do you think a lot of those big guys they come up with all that material themselves? It's kind of like, Jay Leno didn't write all the jokes of the Tonight Show, and neither did Johnny Carson. They had writers to write a lot of that stuff. So and some of these big guys, they have producers. Now Michael Savage, I don't think he's got any producers. I think he's a two-man show. He's got the engineer that actually runs the sound stuff, and you got him. So I'm in good company there, because there's only me. I'm the only one running this so far. I think maybe in next year I might be able to get an engineer and call screener. That would be nice. That would be really nice. Continuing, here's a story from the Los Angeles Times that has to do LATimes.com. That has to do with the attempted terrorist hoax. I don't even really want to delve into this story too much, because it is so ridiculous. This is what I want to ask liberals point blank. Do you think that Americans should live in fear? I love how they try to obfuscate the facts and then try to remanipulate the data. Now, what do I mean by that? Because here you have this hoax out there in L.A. You have this 14 people dead from a terrorist attack down in San Bernardino. And what this hoax in San Bernardino have in common is what? The use of explosives. Now, the email was saying they were going to use explosives. And that they were loaded up with AK-47s. They had guns, and they were going to go and cause further loss of life with their guns. And so you have all these wonderful liberals that say, well, what we need is stronger gun laws. Not a single, I don't know how many times we've always said this, and it goes for Sandy Hook, it goes for, back in Colorado, it goes for all the mass shootings on public school campuses and college campuses across the nation. There isn't a gun law that has ever been proposed that would have, other than straight out banning guns, that would have prevented, and banning guns necessarily would not have necessarily prevented any of these either. But there isn't a current law that is on the books or been proposed that would have prevented any of these mass shootings. And so now you have a bunch of people running around out there, a lot of them in law enforcement at local and state and federal level, asking people who are legitimately, legally capable of carrying their own firearm, not only to do so, to get training on how to use that weapon properly, but to carry them at all times when they're out and about. And you have all these wonderful liberals running around saying, oh, no, you guys are now you're fear-mongering. You're fear-mongering. You're afraid. Well, who's afraid now? Because you get this hoax and your liberal idiot leaders out there shut the entire school system down. Why? Because they were brave and they wanted to send police out there to stand up against anybody who might come and attack? No! They shut down the entire school district. The first time in a non-war situation. Well, I guess we're in a war, aren't we? We are in a war. But can you imagine? Nearly 700,000 students did not go to school because of a hoax. And